5:44 this morning. 7 is on the streets as we take a closer look at how some Chicago streets got their names.
We've looked at downtown and north side streets the past 2 weeks, and now Roz is here with ones on the west side.
I have been having so much fun doing this, even though I took a little break to go to the auto show, but we're back now, and Chicago streets have been named after presidents, local politicians, and war heroes. This morning, we start with a west side street with a name meant to impress. How do you think Cicero Avenue got its name?
Well, I don't know. Probably original founder of Chicago, politician.
Historians aren't sure which came first, Cicero the street or Cicero the town, but there's no doubt who it was named after. A Roman politician from the 1st century, Marcus Cicero was also a philosopher, lawyer, and considered one of Rome's greatest orators and prose stylists.
Those educated city fathers had read Cicero and were familiar with Cicero, and yes, wanted to use sort of this impressive name that people at that time would know.
How do you think Archer Avenue got its name?
Archer Avenue? I don't think I can tell you.
Colonel William B. Archer was instrumental in the construction of the Illinois and Michigan Canal.
Digging essentially a very large ditch to connect the Chicago River with the Illinois River, and thereby connecting Lake Michigan eventually with the Mississippi River and New Orleans.
Colonel Archer also pushed for a road to be built from Chicago to the canal's headquarters in Lockport to increase commercial activity. Now to Kedzie Avenue, which runs from Olympia Fields in the south suburbs to Evanston up north, with 22 miles in Chicago. It's named for John Kedzie, son of Scottish immigrants. Kedzie came to Chicago to practice law.
He was active politically, locally in the Republican Party, and he was a supporter of Abraham Lincoln.
Like many others at the time, he saw more opportunity in real estate and developed parts of Chicago's north and west sides and several suburbs, including Evanston, where he lived. Finally, the city's longest street at 23.5 miles, Western Avenue.
Based on whatever's east from here is the reason why this street is named Western. That's the best I can come up with.
Pretty good guess. When the city was established in the early 1800s, Western Avenue was Chicago's western border.
Families especially would go out to Western Avenue, and they would have picnics out in that area because that was essentially prairie, undeveloped prairie.
Cool. It's the coolest story.
Yeah.
I love that part. But by the 1800s and 1880s, 1890s, they had streetcars there. So once they had the streetcars along Western Avenue, then the west side really started to develop.
Yeah.
So no more picnics.
That is so neat.
Yeah. So much interesting history in Chicago based on the street names, right?
Right, and I think Judy made a good point. We all feel like slackers. What have we contributed?
Right, you know, they're developing Evanston, building canals, yeah.
Right.
We do TV.
Yeah, right. We won't have streets named after us. Not happening.